Sinn Féin says the row is over, Paul. Not so, says Simon Harris.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the case, and as Gavin pointed to, the government parties will be keen to keep this issue going. Of course, that tweet from Eoin O'Brien over the weekend sparking a lot of anger, concern from Gardaí of all ranks. Now, as Gavin mentioned there, a phone call between Eoin O'Brien and the AGSI General Secretary Antoinette Cunningham earlier today. She said she accepted his remorse during that phone call, describing it as genuine and sincere. Yesterday, the Justice Minister Simon Harris describing the tweet as offensive, inappropriate and disrespectful. He's currently addressing the delegates here at the hotel in Salt Hill. In the last couple of minutes before he went into that, he spoke to the media and he accused Sinn Féin of dragging the Gardaí into a political debate and also of pitting the community against the Gardaí.
It's not for me to accept his apology. I'm not a member of An Garda Síochána, but as Minister for Justice, I felt it was very important that I stood up for the Gardaí yesterday, because I know it cut deep. Gardaí who are of the community, Gardaí who face the same challenges that people do in communities right across the length and breadth of the country, and Gardaí who put on a uniform and put themselves in harm's way to keep us safe. It's easy to send out a tweet. It's quite a different thing to put yourself in harm's way. And I know in the room that I'll be in this evening at the AGSI conference, there will be men and women who've put themselves in harm's way, and there'll be men and women who know people who put themselves in harm's way and paid the ultimate price.
Now, around 150 Garda sergeants and inspectors are attending this two-day conference, and one of the biggest issues, apart from that tweet, is around rostering. Of course, this was a roster that was brought in during the COVID emergency. It remains in place, and the AGSI isn't happy at the way that Garda management are dealing with this, or the industrial relations dispute, the way that it's all playing out. The Garda Commissioner wants to refer to the WRC. The AGSI aren't happy about that. We saw a day of action, 250 members marched to Garda headquarters last month. Antoinette Cunningham asked today if she could rule out further industrial action, particularly ahead of the Joe Biden trip. She said she couldn't rule that out, and that she will know more tomorrow about exactly what further industrial action may happen. Here's a little bit of what she had to say.
Well, I suppose that's a matter for our delegates tomorrow. I'll be having an address with them, and we will be discussing rosters. We will be discussing the recent day of action that we held. We'll be discussing the impasse that currently exists. I'll be informing delegates of 3 suggestions that I put to the Garda Commissioner last week to break this impasse, all of which he rejected. So actually, if you look at this in detail, it seems the only one with a fixed position at this moment in time is the Commissioner himself.
Now, as I say, the Justice Minister currently speaking with delegates tomorrow. It's the turn of the Garda Commissioner, Drew Harris.